All right, just playing around on PTR, trying out this Apocalypse build, and I wanted to make a little filter so that it's quicker to get loot. If you're on PTR or if you have never been on PTR, you can copy a character over, which unlocks the campaign completion. And once you unlock it, you create a new character. You can hit skip campaign, create new seasonal, and then in the major towns, usually near the entrance to the pit, there's a goblin that you can click on, and he can set your character level, give you paragons, and also give you gear and equipment and so on and so forth, and seasonal items. So we're going to use equipment as an example. So I come over to this little guy. There's a stash next to him. I can click on him. I'll go equipment. I'm going to get talisman sets, which includes, charms and seals and everything. So I'm going to get a couple of these. And if you look at my inventory, you'll see I have all these caches. And let me show you my loot filter really quick. This is the filter and the rules. If you go into any of these rules, let's use the weapon for example. This is specific to weapons that my Warlock would use. And if you want to see the weapon type selected, when you look at the list, the only two hands in here are the mace and the sword that the Warlock can use. It doesn't say two-hand staff or anything else. This is class specific. And so it'll look for ancestral, legendary, rare. There's 4 specific affixes that we want to have on this weapon. The default for this is set to wanting at least one of the 4 affixes. I'm going to go ahead and turn this back up to 3. I just had this on 1 for some testing, and then what will happen is in the game, if you mouse over the gear that you're using and you see the name, how it's in a color, this chest piece for example is green, that means that my filter would see this and allow me to pick it up if it fell onto the ground. So the chest is good, the gloves are good, the legs unfortunately are not. I'll have to double check the setting on that. The boots, and then here's the weapon that we just edited. The rings are both flagged, and the neck. So these are all things that my loot filter would see, and it would see that the stats are good and would recommend that I grab them. So let's look at this for example. These are the legs. These have the affixes that I want, but let's just double check the filter really quick. And filter will go into let's see here, my pants. Pants are must have 1 affix, must have 1 greater, must have 1 greater affix, must have 3 of the affixes. The 4 affixes are willpower, life, armor, and resist all elements. You see how this says must have 1 greater affix? It's because my legs do not have this 1 greater affix. That's why it wasn't flagging my legs as being acceptable to pick up. And so what this filter is essentially saying is that I am looking for better legs than what I have, which is why this is here. And we can actually turn it up if we wanted to, but that's an example. So currently, for example, I'm looking for better charms, and right now I have it set to where the charm must have 1 greater affix. So if there's Hellfire ranks to Hellfire skills on the charm, as long as the charm itself has at least 1 GA, it'll flag it for me. Or if it has that 1 ability, it'll flag it for me. So this is charm, and the affix here is, let's see where we can get to it. The affix is plus to Hellfire. Let's go Hell. It's plus to Hellfire skills. And so if the charm has a 1 GA and it has Hellfire, then it'll flag it for me. So right now I have charms that have +3 and +2. I don't want any more charms that have +3 and +2. I want +4. So if you got this and you said, hey, I don't have Hellfire on any of my charms, so you can actually just come over here and then click like greater affixes, and you could remove a greater affix requirement. Let me just take this off. Item match must have at least 1 of the selected items. Select greater affix. Okay, so this is good. Let's select that. Alright. Now, these, for example, on the fact that it's showing you. So these are the gloves for Warlock with the Apocalypse build. However, these gloves are not ideal. Even though it shows having 3 GAs, these are not the abilities that I want. I actually want vulnerable, I want critical strike damage, I want fire, and attack speed. So these gloves only have 1 affix on them that I want. these gloves that I'm showing you with the 3GA. It has attack speed. The other 3 stats are terrible. So this is trash. I just left this on so that you can see it. I come back into the loot filter. I'm going to come back and go into the gloves. You see I have 1 selected. I'm going to change this to be probably 2 or 3 is going to be ideal. So I'm going to say, well, leave it for 2 for now. It's kind of generous, but it's still going to show us a bunch probably that we don't want to see. So that's kind of how you edit it. This is built specifically for a Warlock, and specifically an Apocalypse Warlock. So it's built on getting a certain kind of gear. Let me show you. In this window you can see the headpiece, the neck, the chest, and the gloves are the 3 unique items, or mythic unique if you will, that you want for this build. This build is going to be linked below the video, as well as a link to this loot filter. So the build is caters toward these. Besides the uniques, this build also has settings for the seals, the charms, the 2-hand weapon, the rings, the boots, and the chest. We'll look at the rings, for example, and the rings, you'll see that we have selected all damage, attack speed, crit, and vulnerable. So those are the 4 desirable stats. We've asked it to flag any gloves that drop that have at least 2 of those 4 affixes. You can make this more strict. You can make it be 3 if you want, but we did 2 to start with. The same goes for the boots and the pants and so on and so forth. It's a very similar methodology. Just come in and click and change it. Now, the helm rule. So right now on PTR, if you do a search, so just go to helm. If you do a search, and let's see here, item type is specific unique. Okay, so this is the problem right now. The helm of Leoric is currently not in the database. So actually the crown of Leoric. So we'll try crown. You'll see there's no Leoric. We'll type, helm in case they saved it wrong. Helm. Yeah, nothing comes up for helm. I guess that's not in any of the words. But we'll type Leoric. It doesn't appear. So I'm sorry, I have the image blocking the view. So right now, helm and Leo doesn't appear. Helm, crown. This item is missing. So this helm right here, this in the loot filter is disabled by default. Later, when this gets added in, I'll check this box. I'll come into the search and I'll search for the crown of New York and I'll add it. But currently, the crown is the only item that I have found for armor that's missing. There's also a charm called Hemet, and the Hemet is currently missing as well. And I'll show you. These are all Hemet. The Hemet stone. Hemet. H-E-M-A-T. Let's take a look real quick. Maybe I misspelled it. Let's just check though. So Mythic Seals, unique Hell Charm. Item type match. This says we're looking for a charm. And this is saying what do we want on the charm, and what we want on the charm is plus to Hellfire skills and required affixes plus to Hellfire. This one, Mythic Unique. Okay, now I can do is specific unique. So let's type in here H-E-M-A-T, Hemat. Here it is, the Hemat Stone Charm. Oh, I thought it wasn't in there. I was mistaken. So there we go. Hemat Stone, we've got it. It's going to recolor it to green. All of my rules are designed that if it's an item that you need to wear that's for your build, it's going to flag the item as green. So everything that's good for you is going to be green. Your regular seals, which maybe you don't even need them, they will show as the normal burnt orange color. Mythic seals will show as their regular purple cells. And see, regular seals when they're 850 or higher will be that orange too. Okay, so let's just drop the Hemet, for example. Let's grab one of these. Oh, let's here off on. So I can't see that, so let's just double check. this was Mythic Unique, right? So Mythic Unique Hamat Stone. Let's just double check our rules real quick. Since we just did that. Unique Hell Charm. Specific Unique. And, oh, you know what? It's because I'm searching for the Hamat Stone, which you need, but I'm actually looking for a Hamat with the Hellfire on it. So, because I don't need any of the Hamat charms, I have a whole bunch of them. So, my search, the reason why it didn't show up just now for us was because it didn't have a Hellfire skill on it. I am currently looking for that. I do not have it. That's why it didn't show up. So, let me show you for example. So, all these Hamats here that I have, they do not have the Hellfire skill. I've got Abyss, Cold Movement, cold movement, gold movement, stats, impairment. See, I got all this stuff, but none of these are what I'm looking for. So that's why this doesn't show up. If you're looking for the Hamat Stone and you don't care about the Hellfire because you're just starting out, you can actually uncheck the requirement for go into the lid filter, and you can go into charms, unique hell charm. You can go into here, and it says here has required affixes. You can come over to the right and hit this X, and you can delete this requirement and just leave the specific charm, the Hamat Stone. That way, that'll still show up for you, even if the other one doesn't. Okay, so now let's see this thing in action. We are going to go out of town because town's a hot mess. And let's go in here. Is this for me? Looks like it's for me. Okay, so we are just going to seal. Okay, let's take a look. So this is 850 seal, because I left those on because sometimes when you need money, you want those. There's one lone guy over here messing up my show. Okay, so I don't actually care about mythic seals, to be honest. I mean, it's possible I can get something that I need, but let's really looking for Hellfire GA charms. Oh, did I use everything? Oh, I thought it was going to be much more interesting than that. So life, attack speed, total armor. What is it? Occult, critical strike, resource, attack speed, willpower. Oh, there's a lot in here. Okay. Alright, so let's go back to town and let's go grab some, we're going to grab some regular, mythic chests so that we can show you what it looks like. charms are. Let's do a bunch of these. Alright, let's see here. Okay, plenty. So let's go in here. Alright. Okay, so we got one pair of gloves. So it looks like gloves. Attack speed, vulnerable. Those are 2 of the 4 stats. Attack speed, vulnerable, attack speed, critical strike damage, attack speed, fire damage, attack speed. So those are the gloves I need. There's a lot of gear in here. Look at this. All of this gear is all worthless. So let's go. Another amulet there. Okay, so the amulet's got hellfire, critical strike damage, and attack speed. So a couple of the stats are desired. Some of them are not. It's very hard to get, 4 or 4 what you want, but in the beginning you gotta kind of take what you can get. Alright, so let's go get some more. So you'll find that, if you're dropping stuff in town, you can't drop a million items in town without creating a problem. So instances I have found are a much easier way to deal with that. Oops. So we're gonna get a bunch more. We're gonna mix in some legendaries maybe, because I do need rings. So let's. I don't think any of these gloves are even. This one I would want. This is free. I would take this one. So let's. What I'm going to do is go loot filter. We're going to go into gloves. I'm going to give you a more strict gloves, which may cause them to never show up again, but oh well. is what it is. Let's go to... Sorry, lag. I don't normally get lag, but I am getting it tonight. There's an amulet, there's a ring. I'm excited for the ring. I definitely need rings bad, so let's hope it's an upgrade. Let's take a look at these gloves. Critical vuln attack. Look, these are three out of 4 of what I want. So I'll re-roll the willpower off for the fire, and these gloves will be perfect in my eyes. And then I'll upgrade them to Mythic at the cube. The charm, the neck is not as, see, vuln, crit, fire, hell, vuln. So I can actually make the gloves more strict too. I'm sorry, the amulet. Amulet. I'm going to make this more strict for myself. Maybe not, you may not want it as strict, but I do. Alright, let's go get some more. So my recommendation is you pretty much take a look at a build guide, see what you need, and then go into a filter and then change everything to match what it is you're shooting for. And it helps you keep from getting distracted with gear that's not for you, that you're not going to use, because I am really, really bad about, you know, saving gear that can be used for 5 different specs, and it's just such a nightmare. You're better off to just not even know it exists. Equipment. Let's give me these. Oh, we want some rings too. I forgot about the rings. Damn it. Let's, no. Nope. Great. I'm gonna hold on to those. Oh, I already marked them. Okay, good. Oh, there was something I could use at the beginning, but it actually disappeared because I dropped too much stuff, so Got a little ahead of myself. I think I lost a ring because of that. Oh well. It happens. Okay, so we got a chest. Willpower. Yep. It has all the exact stats. It's just no GAs. So that's a perfect statted chest, just minus not being GA. The neck, we already saw that. This one is also pretty close. They gotta make it more strict. Why is it even showing me that? Let's take a look at the neck again. We set it on 3, and I've got crit, vuln, fire, and attack, right? No, crit, vuln, fire. 1, 2, 3. And hellfire. Show 3, and that's weird because this doesn't have 3. Oh yeah, it does. Crit? No. Oh, maybe it was just something that I picked up as it was falling, because, yeah, if you see, it doesn't show us. Yeah, it's possible I was picking something else up, and my mouse picks up stuff really fast. Well, that's it. That's what I just wanted to show you. Thanks for hanging out. If you watched any of this, have a